this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. And I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called
Yharnam. Hello there everyone, and welcome to my brand new Let's Play, which, funny enough, is actually my first new gen Let's Play at all. Yes? Maybe. Something like that, I think it is. Well, it's my first ever PS4 Let's Play. I believe so. Well, I mean, I've been doing Bloodborne on the Spadazzle channel.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. It's been going alright. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and shut up now and let this cutscene play, and we'll get straight into a new game. Well, actually, the hell with this cutscene. It's not really much of a cutscene. It's just, I consider it a cutscene, but this might be the first one I might talk through. Because most of this isn't really technically super important. It's just this old man just talking to us. I'm going to have subtitles on for you guys to read. I mean, the reason why I'm going to talk through this part is because there's going to be a moment coming up pretty soon. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to consider any of these parts even cutscenes to begin with. Because there's so many parts in this game that aren't really necessarily cutscenes. Well, if you've never played a Souls game before in your life, like I have before I played this game, except for Dark Souls 1, which I quit before the first boss, technically. No, not the training boss. The boss after that. I did play Dark Souls a long time ago. Not a long time ago, like a few years ago. And then this was my first ever Souls game I really bought and got into. So, this is going to be one hell of an interesting Let's Play. I don't know if I'm going to do it 100% or not. Maybe, hopefully. I'm not going to spend too much time on this whole, customization screen, so don't worry about that. Alright, let's see. Gender has no bearing ability. We can pick what gender we want to be. Typically, when I play games that are RPG based, I typically like to play female characters, just because it kind of represents my intuition of wanting to be a female. No, I'm kidding. Just because, I don't know, I just find them more appealing, necessarily speaking. I'm going to go ahead and play as a male for the sake of this Let's Play, just so I don't seem too creepy. We can play either as a young character, we can play as mature, which looks like it does nothing to us, and old. Actually, it does add some wrinkles. And old, or aged, I should say, gives us some wrinkles and gives us some slight bit of gray hair. We're going to play young because I happen, at the time, to be young. Let's change the appearance just a bit. Obviously, he's going to have a young voice with his age. His build is alright. We'll have a standard build. I'm not going to worry about the skin color because it looks almost like mine. Quite, quite white. Alright, let's see here. Where the frick was that gosh dang mother-licking... Oh, there it is, hair. Can I change my... Yeah, you can change your hair. Oh my god. What the hell? What the fuck? Okay. I don't really mess with the customization... Oh. Don't you look fancy? Fancy. I like that hair, actually. It looks pretty cool. Now, I don't like the slick back hair. Oh my god. That's like the freaking character we have on Spadazzle's hair. Yeah, we literally have this... Oh, it's just gross. You guys gotta go watch it, go find out. Yeah, we can give him a ponytail. We can give him kind of a little bit of long hair. We can kind of give him, well, I like to call my brother look. He looks just like my brother. Oh my god. Okay. Like I said, we're not going to fuck around with all this too much. But they've got some interesting hairstyles in this game, now don't they? I'm not going to go with any, like... Oh god, I can totally go Jeff... It doesn't really matter, but at the same time, I just don't want my character looking like a complete retard. Okay, hold on. We're going to go with... Either we're going to go with, like... Reggie Rad over here, or we're gonna go with like Colin Cool. So I don't know exactly which one I want to go with, or we might just go with my emo face. We'll go with my emo face. That happens to be the best. No, I don't need no beard. Men like this don't need beards. All right, let's see. Probably just gonna give him. Well, he's got no eyelashes there. We'll give him some eyelashes. I mean, it's only fair. Even though I did say a moment ago, oh my god. Oh, that's got a scruff to it. It's like, yeah, so what? Now he looks kind of Scottish. Ooh. I think that's called a handlebar mustache, if I'm not mistaken. You know, they have a lot more options I've not seen in this game. I've not played with this very much. I kind of like the scruff, almost, but I prefer the no facial hair. Everything else seems alright. His eye colors, well, even though I want to kind of make him represent me, except that's not my kind of hair. My kind of hair is much different than that. Let's go with the color of pupils. We'll make it as blue as we possibly can. That's good enough. I'm not going to go too blue on that. You know, he looks handsome enough. We'll go with this. Actually, let me make it better. I don't want to go with burly. Yeah, you have different physiques that you can pick and stuff like that. And yeah, like I said, I probably will talk through the cutscenes. I just probably won't consider anything cutscenes because what's the point? This is going to be a really interesting Let's Play because it's going to be really hard to explain. We can either go with what I said earlier, which was what was it? Rockin', I don't even remember. Something rad. Alright, let's see here. What were we going to go with the name? Well, I don't want to do Joe because it's already name. I've already done Alex. I can do Alexard. Or, better yet, I've got the perfect name right here. If I can put the whole thing in, I'll keep it that. Actually, I don't think I can. I don't think I can do the whole thing. God damn it. I was going to do Fresh Prince of Yharnam, but that wouldn't work. So we're just going to go with the Fresh Prince, because he happens to be quite fresh and very princey. I can't change my costume just yet, my outfit just yet. So we will do that when we get into the actual game. And I will explain more in detail about the game as we go along and as we progress through the story. Like I said, I mean, there are cutscenes in this game, but they are very few and thin in between. I mean, actually, you know what? For that first cutscene, I'll leave in my commentary. But anything from here on out, I guess I'll just cut out anyway. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to decide whether or not I will do that. As of right now, I'm starting to kind of decide on cut my commentary. Any moment now.
Good. All signed and sealed. Now, let's begin the transfusion. Oh, don't you worry. Whatever happens, you may think it all a mere bad dream.
You found yourself a hunter.
Okay, so that was a very hard to explain cutscene we had just witnessed. We saw what looked like to be a werewolf or a beast. Well, it's a beast, but definitely looked like a werewolf of some kind, coming out from the blood on the ground. Fortunately for us, it was all just a bad dream anyway, so nothing really too spectacular going on there. We have a note here. It says, handwritten scrawl. Seek pale blood to transcend the hunt. Seek the pale blood. What could the pale blood possibly be? It's not open from this side. Let's see. What door is that to? Ah, I see. So as we stand right now, we've got a nice little looking outfit right here. And we've always got our fists as our basic weapon. And like I said before, you've never played a Souls game, and you're starting with this one, well, that's not a bad idea. Because as far as I consider, this has nothing to do with the Souls games besides the gameplay factor. And besides it just being basically, you know, well, made from the same people. Oh shit, I forgot to pick what class I was going to go. I think I want, well, anyway, there were specific classes you can pick. And I was going to go through them and show you guys what each one meant, and they give you different stats, even though the stats of this game don't necessarily matter. They're starting stats. Who cares? I'll go put up with that stuff later. As of right now, it seems like we found what looks to be another werewolf-looking beast thing. It's a dog, and it looks pretty damn hairy. Well, anyway, this is going to be our first enemy of the game, and of course, you have your basic... Ow! Shithead. You have your basic controls like any other Souls game, whereas R1 is your weak attack and R2 is your heavy attack. And of course, you can charge up your heavy to do, you know, even more damage. You have your circle, which is to dodge, basically, and as you can see, I just got fucked. That's the whole point of the Souls franchise, is dying. Even though you don't, well, it's not the whole point. The whole point is to try to avoid dying, but you're gonna die a lot if it's your first time. That right there, I died for a reason. No, I'm serious. It really was for a reason. No, I'm not kidding. I promise. Alright. This looks kind of disconcerting. We seem to be in what they call the hunter's dream. Let's see here. We got this strange looking doll. An abandoned doll, and that's all it says. Oh, what's this? Weapons? Weapons for what reason? Messengers offer you a trick weapon. Well, now, as we start, we have a choice between 3 different optional weapons. We have a saw cleaver, a hunter's axe, and the threaded cane. Now, of course, you can go on stats, and this one's much stronger than the other 2. As you can see, it has better physical attack than the other 2. But each one has different attributes as well, which isn't really much to explain. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to pick one in terms of favor. I can easily go with the hunter's axe. The saw cleaver I consider is the most OP and most popular weapon of the Bloodborne franchise. Even though it's not really much of a franchise, it's just one game, but I've seen a lot of people use the saw cleaver more often. The hunter axe was the thing I started with first, and here's the threaded cane, which I'm gonna go with the threaded cane because I don't see it being used a whole lot. What's next we have here? It seems like we have some guns. The messengers offer you a firearm. Choose one. Alright. It's employed in beast hunting. We have the hunter pistol and hunter blunderbuss. Blunderbuss, which is a shotgun. We have a pistol and a shotgun. The shotgun has better spread versus a pistol, but the pistol is much quicker to fire. I'll explain and I'll show off more stuff about that in just a few minutes once we get the hell out of here. So as far as we can, okay, I'm just going to mention this right now. If this was your first playthrough, I recommend the blunderbuss over the pistol. If you're an experienced Bloodborne player, well, if you're going through another new game, I definitely recommend going with the pistol because you're probably more likely, just like me, a little bit more experienced and you have a little bit more know-how of using guns. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the hunter pistol. I'm going to be playing in terms of an experienced Bloodborne player. I'm not going to play like most people probably play, where it's like, oh, this is totally blind. I'm totally making it seem like that. So I'm not going to lie to you guys and be like, yeah, it's blind. It's not blind. This is not blind at all. Alright. Alright, so this is how you can switch out your weapons. Use the directional buttons to switch between weapons. As it stands right now, we only have a pistol, which is a left arm weapon, and a right arm weapon, which is my cane. Yes, you can't put the pistol with your right arm. You can't put these weapons with your left arm. That's just how it works. So now we have a notebook, and it seems like that door seems to be closed. Where the hell are we exactly, you wonder? Well, every time you die in Bloodborne, you go to this place called the Hunter's Dream. Trade in blood echoes and messengers to buy and sell items. Okay. We're basically, this is going to be a place where we can start leveling up, and basically our little safe haven. A little home away from home, pretty much. Away from Yharnam. Awaken at a selected location on Yharnam. The first floor sick room. I'll probably explain more in the second video because I don't feel like there's a lot I can really explain in the first video. And besides, there's something I have to go take care of right now. But I'm going to wait until I get my 25 minutes worth of footage in for this episode. Once I get this episode done, I'm going to go take care of that because it's starting to get pretty bad. So, it's not too bad right now. It's just, yeah. Things are not going correctly, it seems like. Nothing wrong with footage or anything like that. It's just, having some personal complications as it stands right now. Alright. So, since we are playing online, we're going to be greeted with messengers, which are these little guys running around on the ground. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Therefore, turn back. I don't know if I'm going to read it all in a Scottish voice or not.
Are you? Then I'm very sorry.
What do you mean you can't open this door?
The patients here in my clinic, I know that you.
I'm going to skip through all... I'm not going to let them finish because I'm basically the Kanye West of this game. I've played this game so much, it's just like, why even bother? I have subtitles on, so you guys can read that stuff, and you can pause it all you want. This is Yusefka. If you start actually hitting her door, you'll notice she starts saying things like, you know, stop and please stop, and...
Why are you behaving like
yeah.
this?
She's like, why can't you go hunt, you know, you hunt beasts, so why not just go do that? Alright, so, we have trick weapons and we have firearms. The difference between the two is firearms use blood tinge for damage, and of course, we need strength and what have you to be able to carry, you know, trick weapons. So, why do they call them trick weapons exactly, per se? Well, the reason why they call them trick weapons is because they have the ability to morph between two different weapons. Unlike most of the original Souls games, whenever you acquire a weapon, it's usually just like a sword or something, or an axe, or whatever the case may be. It's your basic run-of-the-mill, typical RPG weapon. As with Bloodborne, you have the ability to interchange between a basic weapon, which is arcane, which is a very blunt stick, to, as you can see now, a chained weapon. Of course, there are different move sets of what we can do. We can hit up and R2 at the same time to do a jumping attack. We can hit up and R1, which does nothing, because those were the older Souls games. That was something that they would do. In this game, they took it out for whatever reason. I don't know why, but that's just what they did, and they're like, who cares? You have, I'll show you, a back dodge. Let's try the jumping with this one. Oops. Of course, it does take up stamina. I used to think it... I guess we can't do a jumping attack with this, can we? No, I'm doing R1, duh. That's our jumping attack with the basic cane. We have our back. That's our back R1. Back R2. We have our charged R2. Alright, what else can I do? Can I... We have our... Does sprinting do anything? Yeah, sprinting does do something different. There we go. That's pretty much what that does. We can sprint with this. Wah. As you can see, when you sprint and attack with R1, it doesn't do a whip. It's like a chain whip thing. That's what this is. Alright. So that's the end of the sick room. There's nothing else we can do in there. I'm going to try my hardest to 100% the game in my way. What I mean by my way is I don't exactly know the correct path of what is considered 100%. So instead, I'm going to be getting all the weapons. That's what I consider 100%. So I'm going to try my best to get all the weapons. If I don't get all the weapons, I will show them all off in my own personal playthrough. But I probably won't be able to show off how to get them. Again, I will be trying to get them if I remember. This is just going to be a basic Let's Play. I don't know if I'm going to call it 100% or not. If you guys want to call it 100%, that's great. But as it stands right now, this doesn't seem to be a 100% Let's Play. Okay, so we have some items. we can start using. This is where our quick item select is at. We have Yusefka's Blood Vial, which invigorates the senses, restoring a large amount of HP, just in case we ever need that. We have Molotov Cocktail, that explodes violently when thrown. Of course, we have the Hunter's Mark, which sacrifices all blood echoes and awaken anew, and we have the Notebook. You can leave notes and write notes and stuff like that, so if like there's anything that goes on and you wanna let those people online know, like, hey, be careful over here. There's some bad things in this. Some bad things going on over here. Then you are liable enough to go ahead and do that. Now, I can't hear anything on my TV because I have my TV turned all the way down, just for interference reasons, but you might have heard a screeching noise going on right now. That actually will come into play a little bit later. Again, I will be skipping through all this stuff, so if you want to read all this, you can read it. I'm reading it at the same time, so yeah. So if I shut up, that's pretty much me reading it. Alright. He says, whatever we gain from this place will do us more harm than good. I don't know about that. We'll see about that. Anyway, these are lamps. This lamp now transports you back to the Hunter's Dream. Upon death, you will awaken at this lamp. They're basically checkpoints, and this is our way to get back to our own safe haven. Now, if you remember that werewolf in the beginning of the game, you can actually run past him and jump straight to the lamp without having to die. The reason why I died is because it made more sense. It made more sense to die in the continuity fact that the game wanted you to die, and that way the cutscene would have played. So now we just picked up a new item. This is called Pebbles. Round pebbles that can be thrown at targets. And as the in-game tip screen says, just basic pebbles. Quite thrilling. So, I know earlier we just fought a werewolf, and I don't know if I'm going to start doing, like, stats on the screen or not. If I'm doing stats, then I'm doing enemy stats. If not, well, let it be known. There you go. I think they're called werewolves. And these guys are called just basically huntsmen. We have different archetypes. We have your basic, you know, run-of-the-mill, I got a hatchet, or I got like an axe, and we got a pitchfork and some torches, and they're pretty much not on the hunt, but they're just like a mob trying to go down and what seems to be take down anybody that seems to be of a bother to them. And of course, we have our guys with the shields. They are the weakest kind of huntsmen, and they're probably actually one of the weakest of all the archetypes of enemies in general, I think. Now, there might be weaker enemies, but as far as we are concerned right now, they are the weakest. This guy, I don't remember what they're called, butchers or executioners. Now, these guys are jackasses. So, what exactly is the gun used for? As you can see right there, what I pretty much just did was I shot him just in the right nick of time to get him to go down and basically fall down on his knees, just like that werewolf I took out earlier. As you can tell, I'm pretty much kind of a little bit paranoid on what this jackass could possibly do, because this guy can be menacing and very damage-inducing. Oh, shit. He just grabbed me. That might be a problem. Alright. So basically what I'm doing, if I quit fucking that up, yeah, they give you quite a long window to do that. They give you a decent window. This game is very, very easygoing with combat efficiency in this game. Whenever an enemy is about to attack you, that's when you shoot them. That's what they call an interrupt. As in the previous Dark Souls games, or Demon Souls included, it was called a parry. That's when you happen to use your shield to block away an attack at the right moment in time. Therefore, you can riposte, which is what I just did. I walked up to him and pressed R1 right in front of his chest. You have to do it right in front of him too. And then you can get a nice visceral attack. The thing about this game, though, is if you lose health, there will be a little like orange bar that does show up. That's an indication that you can melee and get some of your health back. Now, if you want to get your full health back, go in for a visceral attack, and that's your best option. There's multiple different ways of getting visceral attacks. There's the one where you can shoot them right before they hit you. You can interrupt. Then you go in for the visceral. You can do plenty of damage to a specific boss, and eventually you'll hear that little ding, and that will let you know, or you see them fall on the ground, whichever way. They have an audio cue and a visual cue for both. The visual cue is they'll fall on their knees, or they'll fall down and, you know, kind of look like they're about to fall over dead. Then there's the audio cue, which has like this little like ding sound effect that you probably did hear quite a few times so far. The other way of taking somebody out is from behind. You go behind them by doing this. You walk up slowly behind them by gently lifting the analog stick. Then you do a charged R2 attack, not a jumping one. They'll instantly fall to the knees. You go up and you do a backstab, a visceral attack. So if you shoot them from the front, I think you have to attack them from the front. I don't think you can do it from the back. But anyway, folks, that's going to be the end of this episode. And I will see you all next time when we play some more Bloodborne. And I hope you all enjoy this series. It might be quite the beefy LP. It might be kind of lengthy too, depending on how I perform. So we'll find out in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, starring the Fresh Prince of all Saiyans himself, the Fresh Prince. Take care, everybody.